Good afternoon, adventurers. Welcome to John's Dungeon Corner. It's Friday. That's right. It's here. We're here at the Collective. Day after Thanksgiving. You know what that means? It's Black Friday. And there are some sales going on. Wow. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. Buy ones, get ones 50% off. All kinds of cool stuff. A little later, I'll have somebody come out and I'll let them tell you all about it. But so what am I doing here? I am doing all kinds of crazy stuff here. Trying to finish up a little setup that I have here for a tavern, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Um, so today, I want to talk to you about miniatures. But first, I want to talk to you about something that someone asked me. They said, "Hey, so we're always fighting goblins. You know, as DMs, we set up these campaigns, right? We have our campaign set up, and it's going to be themed with goblins. It's going to be themed with the undead theme. We're going to have a tribe of orcs attacking maybe a village or bandits or whatever it may be, right? And well, that's great. We have all these monsters that we're going to use, and they're cool. Now, what about just if we just want to run something normal? So we're cutting through this forest. It's just a normal forest. It's not really inhabited by undead, or it's not inhabited by creatures or anything. It's just a forest inhabited by creatures. Okay. So there is a whole miniature line. And in the back of the monster manual, I want y'all to know, because it's important to know if you really don't look back there, because it's interesting the way they did it. So right back here in this area, I think I've shown you this before. These are miscellaneous creatures. Okay. So you have stuff like apes and awakened trees if you want to do something like that. You really can't see it. I'm not going to show it to you, but anyway, it's right here. This is the monster manual, just a regular monster manual, okay? And there's a bunch of creatures back here. Okay, so we have a black bear. Okay, so look, this is really cool. Here's a grizzly bear. It can be a black bear. It can be a brown bear. It can be any kind of bear. You've got boars. Here we go. This is really cool. They got boar miniatures. They're right. Let's see. Is this some? Yes, right here. Wild boars. Okay, so you run into wild boars. You've got brown bears. Once again, the same thing with the bear. You can use it as a brown bear. You got constrictor snakes, crabs. Well, I don't know about crocodile, but yeah, you could. If there's a pond, there's no reason it can be a crocodile. And they have crocodile figurines, but I'm trying to kind of stay away. I'm trying to stay with some more a deer. Here we go. I think there's a stag that I have here. Where is it? Here it is, right here. That's a stag, but it can be used as a deer, right? Stag, deer. All right. What else we got out here? Well, then they got giant boars, of course, and they have the giant versions of everything. You have elk, you have frogs. So here we go. These are frogs right here. Okay, these are frogs. Hey, bud, how are you? Welcome to the show. So you got animals that are normal, like woodland creatures. So those are frogs, giant boars. You got centipedes. Let's see, ants. So here we go. Ants. Where are my ants at? Here they are, right here. So we got ants. All right. We got ants, giant ants, um, fire beetles, giant frogs, which I just showed you the frogs. What else do I have out here? Octopus. I mean, actually, there's a miniature for the giant octopus. They actually have it out there. But let me see what else I have out here. Giant rats, of course. Giant poisonous snakes. You can have a giant owl, a giant lizard, giant spiders, giant sharks. It just depends on where you're at. Giant toads. And there's all kinds of giants. Giant wasps, vultures, weasels, wolf spiders, ghosts. There's jackals and lions, hyenas, and then mules and lizards. So there's a lot. What I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of creatures in the back of the monster manual that are just normal. They might be of the normal variety. They could be of the giant variety. And the cool thing is, you know, with the advent of all the miniatures and the wonderful wall that the collective has, you're able to come in. Yeah, I mean, just sitting here that I pulled down because I didn't want to fill this up, but we've got a giant spider. We've got hornets, murder hornets. I mean, you can't beat that. Murder hornets are awesome. We got giant ants. We have a grizzly. And that grizzly, like I said, you can paint it up as a black bear, brown bear, whatever bear. Timber wolves, wild boars, a stag, that could be a deer, an elk. You got giant frogs. Okay. And out there, I mean, there's if you want to do water-based creatures, you've got the crocodile, you've got the giant shark, there's an octopus, all kinds of good stuff. There's fish out there. These one can't even remember the name of them, but it's very cool. All right, so you got that. So you can use that as a woodland theme, Cospal Woods, just out on the prairie. Wolves, they're hunting. Hello, my love. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's the day after. It's Happy Black Friday. Anyway, okay, so going forward with that, I think it'd be really cool because you don't see a lot of it is like the Hornets here. The Hornets flying around, and now the characters have to use all their aerial combat ability, which you don't get to do a lot of. I mean, yeah, we do ranged attack, but what about things that are like flying up in the air, right? We don't get to really fight against a lot of that stuff. So you got the Hornets, you've got eagles, giant eagles. I don't know if you'd want to fight a giant eagle, why you'd be fighting a giant eagle, unless you're bothering its nesting place, of course, right? So there's ants, ant pile. This group was traveling along, and you see a leg sticking out of an ant pile. Well, what do? Well, now all these giant ants come at you. So there's a lot of things that you can do with these. Of course, the wolves attacking the party while they're camping. That's when they're out. Is at night usually. Let's see, the giant spider in the forest. I mean, that could be a wolf spider, a giant spider, forest spider. I mean, it can be anything. Remember, the miniature is just a representation of a monster. What the monster is completely up to you. And just because it may be colored green, it doesn't mean it can't be a black widow spider. It's a representation, okay? Imagination. Remember, that's what it's about. So that's the really anything about those miniatures. Now, a question that I was also asked is, hey, what about the familiars? I see we can have familiars as a certain classes can have them, or what if I want to buy a pad or something? If you want to introduce an exotic creature into the game, like a pseudo dragon or a sprite or something. Well, they have those miniatures too. They're right here. I'm just going to kind of prop them up a little bit. This one, it just says familiars. There's a cat, a toad, a hawk on this one. So familiars are important to represent. If you use the miniatures, it's really neat to represent your familiar. This looks like it's a wolf, a fox, a ferret, maybe, I don't know. And another creature there. So this is also familiars. It just says familiars. You got to kind of look and see. I think this is the winged. What are these? This is like a fairy dragon. I know that these are specifically because it says it is a pseudo dragon and sprite, 4 different ones. Okay, 2 of each. So this is really cool. And in here we have another set. These are the imp and quasis. So these are like diametrically opposed there, right? So you got the fairy and you got the pseudo dragon, which are in the good side, and the imp and the quasit, which are on the flip side. So familiars are really neat, are really fun. They impart some abilities to you, right? As its companion, okay, and that's really cool. And you can kind of, as they evolve, and depending on the rules that you use or what you want to put into your game, you can make them a little stronger. You can evolve them. You can let them create a special bond. You can do something like the Beastmaster, the movie Beastmaster, if you remember that movie from way back when. Okay, so that's kind of a really neat thing that you can do. It depends on where you want to go with the game and what you're allowing in the game. But I think as far as a player, I want an eagle as a familiar. That could happen. Well, that could happen. In your character's case, because of your background, that could happen. But see, there we go. And you get the players excited about something. It may not be today. It may not even be this level. It may be for a little bit later down the line. But as you bring these things out, they get your players excited. They get them something to look forward to. Maybe they have to go on a quest. And one of those times when, you've only got like 2 or 3 of your characters around. Let them go on that little side quest, Don't need the whole party. What level? Oh, I don't know yet. See what happens? There's a prime example. All right, back to the show. I love it. All right, so giant eagles. There's actually a giant eagle. Hello.
Hi.
there is a giant eagle figurine miniature out there, so that's really cool. And it can start out as just a small eagle, and you have to raise it, and that's how you bond. I mean, there's so many storylines there. I'll leave it to the DM for that, but yes, that's that. Now, some familiars are attracted through magic. You do the ritual, and you get all this cool stuff, and you do whatever the enchantment and circle or whatever it is it takes, and boom, a familiar shows up. There's a really good series by Stephen Bruce that I love, and the first one's called Jerrig, which is it's like a pseudo dragon kind of it has a poisonous bite. It's really neat. And anyway, he has a ritual in there that he does, so I think that was really neat. And there's an incantation. It's just really cool. But anyway, now here, like I said, that's up to you and your imagination how far you want to get into it. Right? That's called role play. All right. So now, with that being said, hopefully that helped out. And as far as the encounters, listen, a lot of times when a party camps, the bandits don't have to attack. It doesn't have to be bandits or orcs or goblins or, some fantastic creature. It could just be a group of, they're hungry. The wolves are hungry. It's been a lean winter, and they attack. It could be as simple as there's a pond of frogs, of giant poisonous frogs, and they jump out, and they're looking for food, right? A bear comes crawling out of the woods. There's so much here. They accidentally disturb while going through the woods. They accidentally disturb a hornet's nest. They're shooting. Perhaps you have something, they shoot it, boom. Oh my gosh, now these hornets. The wild boars, hey, there's dinner, right? Now we got dinner. And you can use things as rabbits and other animals also, and represent them by, there's always small miniatures that you can just use. And that's the idea. Give them something more. And that's just taking it that little bit. It's kind of like outside the box, I guess. Thinking outside the box. Is that what we're saying here? Perhaps. Hey, but Jay, welcome to the show. Now we're going to kind of step away from the miniature section, right? And go over here to something different, because this is a great question that someone asked. Okay, so this is kind of like the end. The end phase, all right? We're going to start with the simple stuff. So the question was building taverns, all right? It's so neat, because sometimes people will see me show something on here, like the boards I'm going to show you next. I show them, and then people wonder, hey, so what is there? How does that work? It's like, if you're not used to using the boards, good question, right? All right, so I'm going to kind of bring these up here, all right, to show you, because I can't really lay them out, and you really can't see them laid out. So here is the board from the CD Tavern set, okay? That's one big tavern, is it not? And they're all connected, and there's a statue in the middle. And as you can see around it are the ramshackle shacks around it. So it's called a seedy. It's in the seedy part of town. But this makes for a great encounter place. It makes for a great place to meet, to start an adventure. It can be an adventure in and of itself. Okay, this could be the Thieves Guild's hangout. They own this bar, and you're working for them. Or maybe your rogue has to go find something. All these different bars. These could each be individual seedy tavern. It's a seedy tavern, but you could actually break this off into little areas and meet in different various places and try to find the information that you need, which is really cool. Now on the back side of this, because these are all two-sided, this is really neat. I'm gonna flip this over like this. Okay, so let's say you want to do something. You want to do more something perhaps in a fishing town, in a port city, on a lake, on a river. Look at this. So this is really neat. This is actually built on a pier. It could be a part of a pier thing. This is all built. It has places to stay. Okay, it has a tavern part where you can eat. It's got the long bar. So you got the kitchen set up back there, so you can kind of see it. Gives the players something to do, and they walk in and they play, and they have their miniatures, and they walk around and talk, and you get the NPCs maybe set up, and the person they're supposed to meet. So this is a really neat tavern map. So far I've shown you two taverns. Now let me show you something really neat. This is the same map board, right? So on the back side, like I said, it has all the little the seedy tavern, where it's a big tavern with a statue in the middle, and all the little hamlets and all the little buildings around it, right? This is like the seedy part of town. Then you flip it over and you've got your waterfront tavern, okay, which lends itself to, like I said, you know, a river, an ocean, a port town. But here's the cool thing. Now watch this. Flip it over one more time, and you got a small tavern that you can use, as you can tell, like in a forest or maybe in a part of a sewer in a forest by itself. And it's just, there it is. It's just a tavern. It has some tables. It has a bar. Okay. Has like a stock room back here and that. And this could be part of whatever. An underground tavern. You could attach it. You know, it can be attached to a sewer system here. As you can see, there's like a little board. It can be part of the Thieves Guild. And this is their hideout. I mean, there's a lot that you can do with this. Okay. So that's what I mean. This is just one map board. You got 3 different taverns on there. Okay. 2 on one side, a big one on the other. Okay, so this is a really nice map board. So, and yes, you just need figurines, or you can just lay it down. You don't even need figurines. You can just, like I said, lay it down, and it can be a place that you're meeting. It doesn't have to have miniatures on it. Doesn't have to sit there and it can be an important part of the plot. It can not be an important part. It can just be a place that they're visiting. And anything with 3 of them on there gives you the ability to use them in different places, right? Okay. Now, I've shown you the casino. This is a really neat one. This is a 2-sided one. It's a multi-pack of 4. This is the Tavern multi-pack, appropriately named, right? Okay, so the cool thing about this one that I like is that this gives you like a whole shebang. You got a fountain there. You got the stables for the horses here. You can tell they grow their own food there. It comes in now, and this could be in a part of a town. This could just be, as you can tell, it's a dirt road, so it could just be off the side of the road somewhere as they're traveling somewhere. You've got beds. You've got private rooms. You've got the common room, the common sleeping room, okay? And then over here, you know, you've got a kitchen here. You've got private rooms. And then you got the main bar room. Has a carpet down with some sofa chairs. It's got a 2-piece bar. It's got the, you know, so it's really nice. And you can use this many ways. Once again, it can be a meeting place. It can be somewhere along the road. It could be where they're meeting a contact. And you've got, once again, you've got everything drawn out for you. You can put your miniatures in there and use them, not use them. Use this just as a simple representation. You can say this was once a well-to-do tavern. Now it's fallen into disrepair. You know, it might be somewhere that they can just hang out for the night, sleep for the night. So once again, and this is a multi-pack. There's actually 2 map boards that come in it. I bring the other one because, well, there's basically just more tavern. There's a huge tavern. But, right. Now, we're going to come down to the fun part. Because I wanted to show you how this can all develop. Now, you can kind of see that I've got 2 little sections drawn out, right? They're separated by a blue line and a green line. And here on the blue, I have 2 double doors here. Can't really, you can see them, okay? And then back here, I laid out a kitchen. Now I got more kitchen stuff. I just kind of wanted to show you how far can you go? How far would you go? You know, I can put they can have a fresh pool of water. And this is all things these are all pre-made. Some of them, a multi-pack in the multiverse. Yes, that's it. That is very true, my love. So you can have a bulletin board. Now, what I do with most of my taverns that are part of the Adventurers Guild, I have bulletin boards. I've shown you these before, but I like to reintroduce things and just kind of show things. All right, so same board, you know, you put the bulletin boards in a lot of fantasy games, a lot of animation, you see a bulletin board that has all the different adventures that are going on. So I might stick one of those. Let's see, I'm going to put it. This tavern is way over here, so there could be more tables over here. I didn't want to go crazy. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. I could put one here. Okay, this could be like the area for dancing, or just I could put lounge chairs out here or something. They make them. All this is stuff that that's either pre-made or pre-painted, or that I've done up. So then over here, we put this bulletin board right here, like so. All right. So these are two different taverns. I just kind of set up with a blue line. And that's the neat thing about these blank ones. About the blank boards, you can just draw lines and there it is. This tavern is very small. It's kind of like that one, actually smaller than the other one. And it's just, I took this hex, which is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a 10 by 8. So you got, so this makes it a 10, 20, 30, 40. A 40 by 100. So there you go. 40 by 100, 400 square feet. Right? That's about right. Yeah. So there you have it. Well, this tavern is huge. This is huge. You know, it's got a big bar there, and I could add a bartender over here cleaning. He could be over here cleaning glasses, and I've got chairs. And here's the neat thing: they sell all kinds of wonderful things. They sell chairs, they sell fireplaces, they sell individual barrels. And you can get that all here. Now, I will tell you that some of these things, yes, are from elsewhere. Like I got this little group of sitting people, all right, just to make the tavern fun. So I can put this guy, he's eating his dinner by himself over here. Maybe he's eating his dinner. Here we have a bard playing, right? And he's actually eating dinner with his friend, all right? He's eating dinner with his friend over here in the corners. These are just some townsfolks. Well, let's switch these around because he's a little heavy. So let's put him right here. And you can have up to 3 people on this one because there's a little corner. But there's the eating there. And then, of course, you have the adventures. And you can just put miniatures everywhere. There's miniatures like, what do we got here? Oh, so let's say this is a little bit more an upgraded. You know, this is a very nobles coming in from time to time. There are famous musicians that come in. So you get kind of like, let's move this table. Let's move this table. In fact, let's move these tables over to this side. Like so. So we got some tables over here now, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to put guards. I'm going to put 2 guards on the inside here, on the inside of double doors. So now we got guards. All right, so that adds to the atmosphere of the tavern. I have a dancing girl. There's a bard, an elven female bard playing there, playing a violin, fiddle, whatever it may be. And she's dancing up on the stage. And then I can put more people down here. Just kind of say, hey, look, this is kind of cool. There's people just dancing or here we go. Instead, we could put this gentleman up there, right? After the dancing girl, we take her out and we bring up a bard who's reading poetry. All right? From a book. He's reading poetry that he's written. Okay? And then we can bring the dancing girl over here after that part. I don't know. But you get my point. The taverns can be a lot of fun. You can dress them up a lot of different ways. There's no single right way. There's tons of miniatures. And I'm going to show you some miniatures. Some of these miniatures are, like I said, that some of these are pre-painted. Some of them you have to paint yourself. It depends on how much time you want to put into them. I'm going to get some that are technically just that they are what something you would see. Maybe somebody talking. All right, so let me show you a couple of these. All right. So see this gentleman here. These are all pre-painted. There's a pre-painted miniature you can just put in a tavern. You don't know what you get these. I think this one came out of one of the packs, one of the boosters of one of the sets. And people wonder what you can do with them. This guy could be a mayor. This guy could be somebody. Hey, Willie, how are you, brother? Good to see you. So this guy could be somebody like a mayor or someone important, a noble or someone. He's in the tavern. Maybe this is who you're meeting with. So let's put him over here back here at this table with this big haunch of ham that we had yesterday. All right. Then there's this gentleman here, also well dressed. He could be an adventurer, but you can tell he's got a mug in his hand. I can't really see it. Let's see. Here we go. You see, he's got like a mug in his hand. So this is like a tavern. So you can put him just like this other gentleman I'm going to show you. He could be at the bar. Now here's another one. So another one that has a frosty mug. right there in his hand. See, and these are neat. These are neat because you can put them in the bar. These could be the people that they meet. You know, like I said, this guy could just be reading a book over there by the candlelight. And yeah, a lot of figurines are not designed. You can sit there and go, oh well, they're not really sitting. Well, that's the thing. The imagination. At some point, there are very few. I've looked. There are some sets of miniatures that are sitting that you can put them up the tables and they're sitting. There's one that's carved. A lot of that though is 3D printed, and nothing wrong because I have a lot of this is 3D printed, and there's a mixture. You know, there's some that are pre-printed. There are some really nice ones that you can paint yourself. Like, okay, I'll show you a couple that I painted. I mean, almost all of these are painted, but here we go. Let me grab. Oh, here we go. There's the dancer. She's painted in various colors. Let me see if I can get her. You can tell, kind of. I want you to come by here, but you won't because. And then I have a base that's it's a wooden base. Okay. I've painted all these tables have food on them, like this table. They all have food on them. These were painted. I painted them myself. And then you got some kind of stew going on there, and some kind of bread, and some kind of this, some kind of that on the table. So that one I painted. You know, so I've painted quite a few of these. Like here we go. Oh, here's a fun one. Here we go. This is another one. This is a round one. You have square tables. You have round tables. They come with meat and fruit. Sometimes there's pottery on them, on plates, serving dinner. You know, they're eating, and you just color things however you want, really. Here goes Here we go. Kind of proud of him. This is my halfling chef. You know, halflings know how to eat right now. So there we go. Look at that. He's the chef at this particular tavern. I also have an ogre that serves meals. I think I've shown this one off too. This is actually a cooking pit. I painted this myself also. So this is like a cooking pit that he's cooking out of. So these are the things that you can do to enhance the game. And like with all things, all of this depends on you. That's the Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, brother. That was the Thanksgiving dinner from last night. I hope everybody had a wonderful dinner. My gosh, our house, I think I walked into a feast last night. We had a brunch, a wonderful brunch. That was amazing. Just simply amazing. And it was followed by a dinner later on in the evening that was just amazing. Just amazing. Both meals were amazing. The company was fantastic. You can't ask for more. A very wonderful day. I hope everybody's was wonderful. If not, next year you can come to my house because we got so much food it'll last us the rest of the weekend and then some. How's that? Crazy, right? So this is that kind of thing that you can do. And the wonderful thing is that whether it's a pre-printed one, where'd it go? Whether it's one of the pre-printed ones, right? Or whether you draw it yourself, you can just use the pre-printed one laid down, and there it is. That's the tavern. Sometimes now taverns, inn, hostels, whatever you want to call it, okay? A place to stay, a dive, whatever. You name it. You can give it a name. You can make it as simple or as complex. Now, the one that I have, the Dragon Song Inn, that's what's called. The Dragon Song Inn is a 2-story, okay? Has a basement. And I've told you it's huge. In square footage, in game, it's like 13,000 square feet. It's just huge. I use it with the dungeon tiles, the warlock tiles that they have here. Beautiful. And I put all my stuff up. It's all rendered. I mean, all the tables, the chairs, the stools, the people, the fireplaces. Oh, let me show you one of my fireplace. So I got a couple different ones. Painted in different colors. I paint them in different colors because you never know what I'm really going to want. I've lost a couple of fires out of a couple, but here we go. There goes a couple of different fireplaces there. You can tell this is more of a gray rock. This is a blue rock. Here goes a deeper gray rock. They all have mantles on them. You can put things on them. Happy Friday, Sarah. Welcome to the show. I think you've probably been on the show just kind of like watching with Antonio, huh? But, and they have fire pits and oh my gosh, there's so many So many different things. I have another one. Oh, here we go. This is a little bigger. Um, this one goes in a particular tavern, and I can't find its fire right now. But as you can tell, this is a very bright blue kind of metal with stone that's found, especially when this fireplace was built and as a gift. So yeah, so you can do a lot of things with these taverns. There, like I said, the imagination. And I've got long tables. I mean, I just didn't bring everything out. There's round tables, as you can see. There's square tables. There's round banded tables. Let me show you a couple of things because this was important. They wanted to know, and I try to show as much as I have. And listen, by no means do I have everything either. Okay, there's a lot that I do not have. I just try to emulate. I looked at some of the boards. And I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. But here's a square table with a iron banded, a copper banded. Okay. Then I've got another one. This is a little bigger, obviously. Okay. I've got, there goes a round one. Okay. So there goes those. Let me see what else I got here. More rounded ones without bands. They make small tables with food, without food. Here go a couple of small tables. And oh, by the way, these tables, I'm going to show you this little table. All you do, and that's before I forget, you've been in the shadows. I've been in the shadows. Have I now? So here's a regular round, just a plain round table for 1, 2, or 3 people. You know, small. Oh, I got to reglue that one. Oh, this is not one of the ones that I glue. That's right. I try not to glue them all. Sometimes I leave them so I can change them out with squared tables and round tables. And then this one is actually, now look, this is a different table. This is like a barrel with a table that's been turned into a table. And then it's got food on it, see? Oh, let me see. Can't see. There you go. And what it is this food comes separately, right? I mean, there are some tables that are printed that have the food already on them. Most of these, though, I painted. You paint separately, and then you add on the food later. I glue it on there. That's just what I do. So then you've got, this is like let me show you some of the kitchen stuff. And the reason I'm doing all this is, when people ask me, hey, I like to show them as much as possible what's available out there. So this is actually part of a set. This is actually a part of a set here that you can get. It's the kitchen. It's the tavern kitchen. So it's got the sink. Is that cool? It's got a barrel that you fill with water. It's got a little nozzle, faucet there, and the water. Okay. And then you've got a cooking stove. A stove. See on the top, you put fire, you put the wood down, and here's like a griddle kind of thing that you can cook on. And then here's another one. This one's got the pots and pans hanging, over it like so. This was all these were this is part of a set, and it comes with more pieces. It's got the little pot, the little I use this like, hey, look, they built they built a, what do you call it? I lost my train of thought there. They built a well, and instead of a well, it just bubbles up to the top or something. You can also use magnets to decorate the tables. You can. Now let me show you, Sarah. That's funny that you said that. That's actually kind of cool. So let me put my little pond water there, and I'll put my little there because that's where they fill from. Check this out. So see that? There's an option when this guy made this for me that you can magnetize it. So what I can do is I can turn this piece and take this, let's see, and take the round piece off, right? So I can do it. I can end the bar, okay? I can take it in the bar like this. So there, it's squared. Oh, J for John, yay! All right, so and change it to that. See, now I square it off. Or I could even do this. Square it off at one end and square it and round it at the other. So I have two of each of these, and then I got the long pieces. And I had to magnetize them because I like that idea, being able to change it out like that on the fly. And so it stays together in case something gets bumped. But not all of my bars are like that. There's also some really neat ones that let's see, what was this piece? Oh, okay, over here. There's some really neat ones that are all pre-made and pre-painted that you can buy that look really cool. Are really neat and fun to have. So yeah. You can build. Let me see. This is so I put those two pieces over there, and then of course here's this one. This was a little longer because I put a. See, this was a little longer. I put another piece on there. See, this was also magnetized. So magnetics. If you want to take the time to do it, I had someone do it for me because that was an option. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do one of my bars like this. So it's cool. And this is the one that I use. Like I said, I have others that I also use that are in here. And I'll show you a couple. Why not? We got a few minutes. Okay, this is actually a Dwarven. This is something that I would set in a Dwarven tavern. I actually have one that's run by dwarves. So this is they age their ale in here. They have a special brew, a Dwarven ale that they age. Okay, in this vat here. Okay, they have their own distillery. All right, and yes, I painted this all. This is all 3D printed, and I painted it myself. You see the little fire down here, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so you can do a lot of things. The copper, and all the chain and all that. Anyway, the distillery process. And this is where they cook. This is what they cook on. They got little charcoals over here and stuff, and it's a fireplace turned into a cook pit. All right, that's very Dwarven, as you can tell. It's very Dwarven looking. Then to go with that, all the like the small bar that goes with it is here. It's a small bar. It's not very huge. And it's got a wooden piece in that. Here we go. This is the bar. It's once again, it's in the same shape. All right, it's a smaller bar. All right, so that goes with that. And then the chairs, and here go some of the tables. These are some of the tables. Once again, they're very Dwarven looking. Very, there they are. You see, it's kind of like a match set of how this all works together there. Anyway, so that's the dwarf. And then, of course, once again, you have the Zits bulletin board. Every single tavern, because of the way the realm works, the unique bars that I set up like this are all going to be part of the Adventurers Guild. And then finally, last but not least, here they are. We've got the, here we go. You have the dwarves. So here, one of the owners of the dwarf place, of the Dwarven Tavern. He's always drinking, but he has ale that he runs around with out of that big cask. He keeps it in a small one. And as you can tell, he's got a sword. He's an ex-adventurer that's retired. And there's his brother sitting on another cask. And of course, yes, they're drinking. They drink. They're dwarves. What do you want? They drink their ale. And of course, there's another barrel of the good stuff. And of course, there's the Dwarven barmaid. All right, that's the Dwarven barmaid there. Carrying 2 mugs to some adventurers, some customers. So there you go. All right, brother. Have fun at the game today. So basically, that's the way I stage things. It can be simple, It can be complicated. You can have miniatures. You can theme them. I just wanted to show this because a lot of people think, oh, it's just pieces. No, you can theme these things together. It's wonderful because everything's out there. And I got tables and lawn chairs, and I'll even show you. I've got stuff that I haven't even painted yet. There's so much stuff that I haven't even painted. So, oh look, here goes another person. Here goes another one of my sitting people. You know, here goes another sitting person off her chair. But I just put a little tacky stuff on the bottom. Thank you. Let's go, Jets. There you go. My brother's a Jets fan. And then let me see, what do I have up here? Oh, here we go. This is kind of a cool one. This is a tavern. I'm going to show you this last piece, and then we're going to kind of wrap it up. This is another piece that I painted in a unique paint that I found. Very copperish, very brownish copperish, I guess. It's very shiny. This is a bar. This bar is made out of ironwood. It's a very rare wood. It comes from a particular forest in my game. And see, this one, unfortunately, is not, this was not magnetized. But once again, it's got round pieces. These bars come so cool. This is round piece there at the end. It looks very unique. And every bit of furniture that's in here, this was gifted to them by the dwarves, or by the elves, excuse me. That's where that, there goes the cabinet that sits behind, and you put little bottles and stuff in there, which are also sold. This is one of the tables. And like I said, everything is made out of ironwood. What happened, I'm not going to really divulge the secret behind it, but this is the cask. Now, the neat thing about it is, you'll notice these casks I did not make out of ironwood, because ironwood does not make for good ale or brewing or holding spirits. It just does not lend itself to that. You want to build a fortress out of ironwood? It'll withstand an attack. It's amazing. Yes, that's what your armor is made out of. Yes, that is correct. It's a unique wood, very limited. It's flexible, but once it's a unique way that the elves do it. It takes druidic magic to help. And anyway, it's a complicated situation. But there's only one tavern like that. But see, these are just normal barrels that were painted, because it just, part of it is that they're great for building stuff to last, and they're strong, and it's flexible if it made a certain way. So you can make, you guys have heard of the druidic wooden armor. Well, it's got to be made from some kind of wood, right? You can't just make it out of wood and walk around with all this stiff armor. It's got to be something that's flexible. It's not as thick as that. It's a very thin armor. It's almost like leather, but it's molded. And then, of course, more casks. This is a group of casks, okay? And like I said, this I haven't quite finished yet, as you can tell, because the silver is not on there yet, but it's just regular wood. It will not be the ironwood. Here, now see, here's a different, this is what I mean. So this is the pole that has all the notices. If you notice, this is just a pole. It's probably in the story. It's probably one of the beams that they built out of. They cut this piece off and they put it together so that they could use it as the guild postings. Look at that. See? It's something simple. Once again, you find things. Oh, and yes, what you do is see those little lines that look like writing. There are pens that you can actually write small enough. And yeah, having written on grains of rice, I could probably write on there, but I'm not. So you just draw little lines and you squiggle them like writing. And then when you look at them at the normal eye, and you now have it up to the camera like that, it looks like, oh, that looks good. It gives the look of writing. And that's what you want to do. That's just a little simple trick that I learned. It's nothing but it's neat to do. You know, like I said, all the tables are made of the ironwood. Okay, so now you've seen 3 different taverns, a normal tavern setup, a dwarven one, an ironwood elven one, and I keep these all in here. And yes, there's more that there's a lot more pieces that I have to paint. Oh look, okay, here we go. Here goes an unpainted version of one of the tables. This is an unpainted. See, this one comes with the food already on it, as you can tell. Okay, that one was made with the food already on it. And I have another one over here like that. Let's see. yeah, that's about it. That's about what I got. Oh, and barrels and stuff are always fun. I got tons of barrels and things like that. Here goes a desk. I haven't finished it either. It's just primer. Used to be a white, but this is a desk with books. Oh, hey, you joined us. I talked just long enough for you to show up.
Oh my God, it's a busy day out there.
I see. So, hey, so now that you've come here, I promised them that you would be able to tell them all about all the sales and all the good stuff going on out there.
So,
if you don't know who this is my co-host Donna. She now works here.
I work here.
Very cool. So if you ever want to know D&D stuff or where to find something, she's the one with the miniatures. I just showed off all these miniatures.
That's awesome.
And now listen, you can't find all these miniatures here because some of them, remember I told you, some of these are 3D printed, but a lot of these, I just happen to put them on different bases because I want my bases to look more taverny, so they're on wood. Like this figurine, the dancing girl is actually available right out there with the barmaid. I just painted her and then put her, I bought these bases separately and put her on them. But that's just me. Anyway, go ahead. Awesome. Tell them about it.
So today, specifically for D&D stuff, anything D&D related. So that could be books, that could be spell cards, that
miniatures.
All the miniatures.
Dice.
Boxes of miniatures.
Dice.
For my little dice goblins out there.
Where?
That is where.
What? Carry on.
It is buy 3, get 1 free.
Ooh.
So somebody just came in. They bought 3 boxes of Epic Encounters, got their 4th one free.
Ooh.
Pretty good deal.
That is a good deal.
It's a $60 box for free.
Free! Oh!
Awesome.
Well, that's a lot of miniatures.
Absolutely.
That's like 4 boxes. That's it's like 80 miniatures right there.
Yeah.
80 to 75 to 80 because if some of them are bigger. Remember,
4
some
boxes
of them
is almost 100 because there's
100?
20 to 30 in
Oh,
each
so
box,
it depends on the box. Yeah. So that's really cool.
A huge amount. Paints are
bought 3, got 1 free.
Paints are
how about the paints? Paint suit?
Buy 3, get 1 free. Brushes, buy 3, get 1 free.
Can you mix that stuff up?
Yeah.
So can I get like 2 miniatures, a paintbrush, and a paint?
Of course, yeah. The cheapest thing falls off.
Oh, it just falls free.
And we're open until midnight today.
What? Midnight shopping. Yeah. Look at that.
Shopping.
You can't beat that.
Spot sales on a lot of other merchandise.
So what's the spot sale going on right now? Right this instant.
I don't know.
It's something cool though.
Yeah.
Because what? The opening one was what?
Oh, I wasn't here for opening.
You
but
weren't?
I know. Yeah.
But you've been busy. You guys have been busy, huh? It's been busy. I've been walking through the window. So while the show's going on, there's people out there. They look in here. You guys saw me wave to somebody. They just kind of stuck their head in to see what's going on back here. So you wave at them and they're like, they saw me. No. But anyway, so it's been good, huh?
It's been really good.
All right, well, good. So stay busy. I won't keep you too much because I'm going to start wrapping this up anyway. I was hoping you'd come out here before I ran out of stuff to talk to. Say bye. Bye, Donna. She'll be back next week. Trust me.
You know it.
Yes. So, hey, lot of stuff going on. A lot of miniature stuff, right? Just showing you. But I wanted to make this point that, and this is just miniatures for a tavern. I mean, I just think, to me, like I've always told you guys, I start everybody off at a tavern. And since the tavern is such an important place to my game, I always use at least one of these mat boards. Because these are cool. I got like, I think I have like 8 or 9 different taverns that I can use. And there's 3, there's 3 right here. 1 here, that's 4 I'm holding in my hand. So you can just imagine, I probably have closer to 10. And then, of course, I can always just draw one. I can build one out of my Warlock tiles. For my home campaign, I started out with the Warlock tiles. Like I said, I built the Dragon Song in, and it looked amazing. It was just awesome. I have pictures of it. Maybe one day I'll bring them, put them up. I don't know, something like that. But it's been fun. As you can tell, truly enjoy the year's wrapping up, gang. Hey, look, in December, there's always all kinds of sales going on here at the Coliseum. And so come by and check them out and see what's going on. And they usually print out a whole calendar and let you know when stuff is and when the end of the year party is. And it's just really good. It's just great. The staff here is wonderful. They make things fun, you know. Oh, thank you, love. But that's about it for today. Keep sending me your ideas for shows, and any questions you may have may turn into a show, like obviously this craziness that happened here. But it's fun to bring out stuff that is not always done, and kind of show off the things that are out there. Remember, whether it's miniatures here, not everything that you're going to want, unfortunately, is produced. All right, that's just the real reality of it. But there is enough as far, and they're doing a really good job because they're going to put like monsters and like NPC creatures and characters and so on and so forth. They're going to separate all that out. Furniture, accessories for your miniatures, which are like the tables, and they've got a whole. You can build a whole torture chamber out here, and that's how I did mine. Actually, the players ran into a torture chamber in the last adventure they were on. Adventure as part of it, and everything I painted and had out there was gotten from miniatures and just painted them. Although there is a torture chamber also that's already pre-painted. That's really neat too. And yes, I have that also. I found out about it afterwards. It just made the torture chamber even cooler. But anyway, thank you for being on the show. For those of you who are on, and for those of you who watch it later, much thanks to you too. The show is great because of you. You always inspire. The inspiration has to come from somewhere, and it's awesome. Getting the emails and the questions sometimes on here that just develop into something bigger and better. But anyway, as always, may the world rise up and meet your feet, and may all your adventures be successful. This is John from John's Dungeon Corner at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, where there's an awesome Black Friday sale going on till midnight, saying see you next week. And until then, have a wonderful time and be safe and finish all those leftovers. We're going to try to too. I